just had had enough. But I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know what to do. All I knew is that I did not want to be that way. It stood to reason in my mind that if God was God, and He was my maker, then there was a way out for me. But let me tell you a little bit about myself, how I got to that place. My first sexual encounter took place when I was just 5 years old. I remember being in a public restroom and being approached by a man, exposed himself to me, asked me to do something a grown man should never ask a little boy to do. I did the right thing. I ran. I ran from that encounter. I wouldn't let that guy touch me. But I stopped short of telling anyone what had just happened. Because all of a sudden I had these little thoughts in my mind. Thoughts like this, man, Dennis, what's wrong with you? Something must be wrong with you for that man to think he could do that to you. You're different. You're different. And see right there, I believe I let the enemy. You see, God is our maker, but there's also an enemy of God. He is evil. Satan, the devil, whatever you want to call him, he's evil. His only power over us, though, is deception. And, for the longest time, I thought I was born gay. I thought I was born homosexual. But the reality is that I was born a sinner. Pure and simple. Born a sinner. The enemy comes along because his only power is deception. That's it. His only power is deception. If he can plant those little seeds, those little lies in our minds and begin to get us to think in ways other than God intended, man, then he's got us. He's got us. I was raised in the country. One of 4 boys, I was the oldest. My dad was the song leader at our little Baptist church. And so I grew up in a Christian home. I did. And I just remember thinking, man, I'm not like the other little boys. Now, you see, another thing I need to help you understand, too, is that I believe any sin, the enemy's greatest desire in any of our sins is to get us to become self-focused. It's no different for the homosexual. It's no different for the drug addict. It's no different for the person who's a habitual liar. It's all the same. We become very self-focused. We want to protect ourselves. We want to guard over ourselves. And in a sense, we become God in our own mind. We would never say that, but that's reality because we're sitting on the throne of our heart. And even as a little boy, I can look back now and see that. I can see that. And if you don't think little boys can think that way, little 5-year-olds, it's true. I did think all of those thoughts. I didn't necessarily know what terminology to give them or what context to place them in other than my world. And it was all about me. It just was. Now, I wanted my dad's attention. I wanted his acceptance. I wanted his approval. I needed his affirmation, as every little boy does. They need that from their daddies. Every little girl needs that affirmation from their daddy, too. We need that love from that mama, too. I needed all those things. But when I get to 1st grade, and I'm the artistic kid. I'm the kid who could sit down at the piano because I just heard a song I liked on the radio, and I could sit down and pick out the melody. By the time I was 6, I could do that. I just thought that was normal. And I get to school and find out, well, that's not really that normal. And the other guys are sure quick to remind me that's not normal. I was also very creative in the sense I loved to draw and paint. And those things were considered effeminate even. And when I'm in grade school and I already played the piano, the other boys said, well, that's what girls do. You're a sissy. You're a fag. You're queer. I mean, I heard it all. From the time I was a little boy, I didn't even know what those words meant at first. I just knew they were not good. Well, as little boys do, who need their daddy's attention, need his approval, need his acceptance, you got, this double-edged sword. On one hand, I didn't want my dad to get too close to me because if he got too close to me and found out what I was really like, he'd surely reject me. The other side of that coin, though, is that I really needed his acceptance and his approval and his affirmation. So I compensated in other ways. I discovered real quickly that on the ball field, playing baseball, if I made that hit or caught that fly ball, man, my dad loved that. All the men did. And I felt very affirmed. So it was no big leap for me to get to the place where I equated how well I performed with how much somebody loved me. That went with me all the way through high school, all the way through college, and even beyond. But when you're a little kid and you don't even know what love looks like or what it feels like or what it's supposed to be, you know, whatever normal is, in my mind, I didn't know at the time, but what is normal is what God calls normal. The Creator, He's the one who made us all. He's the one who made us even in His image. So if we want to find out who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to be like, we better find out what He thinks. And I just didn't know it at the time as a little boy. I remember also when I was about 10 or 11 years old, I was already playing the piano for our hymn services at our church. I knew the hymns frontward and backward. I'd heard them from the time I was born. So when my dad would ask me to come and play the piano, at first, you know, it was kind of embarrassing because I knew what the kids at school thought of me. But then I realized, you know what? When I play at church, man, the people really affirm me. So again, I perform well. People are going to love me. I equated my amount of performance, my level of performance, with the level of love I was going to receive.